costume designer on Gossip Girl. But anyone who works with me,
I love this.
it's like drinking through a fire hose. You're like, wow, I come in and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's just because I really, I find that fashion is storytelling. It's a way to message so much more than you can with words sometimes. It's a silent way to message things. So the way that I come into a character is always through the fashion and through the costumes. So
saw in another interview you said that Ryan, actually, your husband Ryan Reynolds, wrote part of that rooftop scene. Is that true?
Yeah, that's, I mean, I would have to compare it to the original one, but that's 99% his. Yeah, he just added, I mean, Chrissy Hall wrote an incredible screenplay. It was, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this film. But also, there are natural tweaks and modifications that come in when the actor is hired and you're trying to infuse your own personality and your own authenticity. And it's like, women are people of multitudes. And, I think that it was important to me that it didn't just feel like someone's interpretation of like female gaze. Like it really was, this is what we like, this is what we listen to, this is what makes us feel these vibes. And we had an incredible music supervisor, Season Kent, and one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing. And he never edited a movie before. He just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one. And he has incredible taste in music. And we share the same composer as well from Deadpool and Wolverine. So there's a lot of sharing.
Really not done. So to be honest, what really happened is we were like, we're gonna show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're gonna show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're gonna show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, shoot. They're like, if everything's not perfect and it's not done, and what if we're gonna change things? I was like,
we want it to go
I literally
well.
brought the movie with me on the airplane. Like I have like a folder with like a disc, like a hard drive.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, two of Hollywood's biggest stars, are currently involved in one of their biggest legal battles to date. The judge did not rule in their favor today, and they are facing a massive $400 million lawsuit. Lively's once flawless reputation is now being damaged by her awful It Ends With Us marketing. Fans were furious when she promoted the film as a lighthearted romance rather than the poignant, somber story of domestic abuse that it is. Instead of addressing the criticism, Lively stepped up her efforts to promote her fashion choices, hair care line, and alcohol brand. Two explosive lawsuits are now the result of that mistake. Lively is suing director Justin Baldoni and his production company Wayfair Studios for $250 million, claiming that there was a toxic and hostile work environment during filming. Although she claims that Baldoni's team misrepresented her and behaved inappropriately toward her, Baldoni is not giving up. He is suing for $400 million, alleging that Lively and Ryan conspired to take control of it. It's something we do first. The much-anticipated follow-up, the court battle, is already a complete mess. The altercation today resulted from the judge rejecting Lively's legal team's attempt to place a gag order on Brian Fredman, Baldoni's powerhouse attorney. Freed claims that Lively provided the New York Times with access to confidential court records, leading to a startling expose that ruined Baldoni's career. Lowly lost his podcast, his agent, and any future projects, but he got away with it. Baldwin's team is attacking at the moment. Among the numerous pieces of evidence on their newly launched website are timelines. Texts, emails, and videos that show Lively as an expert manipulator. The document claims that she manipulated the movie by fabricating charges and holding Baldoni accountable for the criticism of her own subpar promotion. Critics are accusing Lively of being narcissistic and cunning, saying that the decision today doesn't support her and that she retaliates whenever things don't go her way. Gagging orders are rarely upheld by federal judges, and today was no different. Judge Lewis Lyman rejected Lively's team's strong attempts to silence Fredman, arguing that the press has a right to access public records. The stakes are extremely high. According to Baldoni's team, Lively's accusations have cost him hundreds of millions of dollars, and they accuse her of working with the media to spread a misleading story. Even damning receipts and video evidence that refute her interview claims are included in court filings. The trial may occur sooner rather than later if tensions continue to rise. Lively has made mistakes on several occasions, publicly acknowledging that she took over the editing, writing, wardrobe, and marketing of Baldoni's film. And the court date may be advanced from March 2026 by the judge. Lively, meanwhile, is battling to keep Fredman from deposing her, saying she feels uneasy being questioned by a lawyer who she claims has slandered her. The sudden attempt to dodge a deposition raises a lot of red flags for someone who has established herself as a fearless Hollywood powerhouse. If the evidence continues to mount against her, this case could not only cost her millions of dollars, but it could permanently ruin her career. Blake Lively just suffered yet another significant setback to his legal strategy. Her attempt to stop Baldwin's lawyer Brian Friedman from questioning him caused a stir in the federal courtroom. Who deposes you is not up to you. You can ask for accommodations, of course, but asking the court to bar an attorney? It's nearly humorous. Additionally, the judge made it clear that she does not receive preferential treatment. If she wants to pursue this case, she will have to face the tough questions, whether she likes it or not. This resulted in yet another major legal setback for Lively. Her request for a gag order was denied, and even though Lively's lawsuit was offensive, Fredman has the right to depose her without any exceptions. Additionally, because she is a co-defendant in Baldoni's counterclaim, she is not entitled to decision-making authority. It is like a battle between David and Goliath. Two of Hollywood's biggest names, Lively and Reynolds, are competing against a smaller production company, Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios. A lot of people believe that Lively and her group have been utilizing their power to push through this case. Let's be honest, not all women are honest, and not all men are bad guys. Lively's growing list of contradictions and inconsistencies has been further bolstered by video evidence showing her admitting that she took over the film's production despite never having been hired as a writer, director, or producer. Baldoni claims that even though she was only an actress holding the title of vanity executive producer, she assumed leadership. She forced her way into Wayfarer Studios, took charge of the creative process, and made alterations without authorization. Her own admission is now captured on camera. She altered scenes, threw out wardrobe choices, and made executive decisions as though she owned the movie. Lively eliminated the studio-approved costumes, hired her own stylist, and increased the budget by $500,000 for the wardrobe alone. But she didn't stop there. She brought in her own composer and employed her own editor, who had never worked as a filmmaker. The most startling part is that she flew a rough cut of the movie to Colleen Hoover's book Bonanza, which was attended by many fans who could have easily leaked the video online without permission. A Taylor Swift music video is his most notable credit. Studios have strict distribution agreements because unauthorized screenings can destroy a film's success. However, was Lively concerned? Absolutely not. She chose to proceed despite Wayfarer's and Sony's cautions, which might have damaged box office earnings and studio relationships. By making Baldoni the antagonist and claiming she had no control, she is now trying to alter the narrative. However, the harsh truth is that she was powerless, so how did she manage to have Baldoni's name removed from promotional materials? The receipts are right there. Baldoni was sidelined at events, forced to leave the red carpet before Lively arrived, pushed into the basement, and denied access to significant promotions. The situation worsened after she not only took charge, but also kicked him out of his own movie. She was constantly criticized for her tone-deaf marketing, which included advertising her designer jeans, hair care line, and alcohol brand. Lively allegedly tried to conceal her own PR disaster by pressuring Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios to make a public apology while promoting a film about domestic abuse. She needed someone to blame, so she wanted Baldoni to be held accountable, according to court documents. On August 12, 2024, Lively and Ryan Reynolds are alleged to have sent a prepared statement to Baldoni's team. It said, "We accept full responsibility for the troubled production of It Ends With Us. We deeply regret offending anyone both publicly and privately. Blake Lively, Colleen Hoover, and the entire casting crew demonstrated professional leadership at every turn. Any negative remarks made about them are our fault." This is not speculation. Federal court filings document her desire to distance herself from the awful PR mess she created by accusing Baldoni and his studio. Lively is charged with orchestrating the incident to shift the blame to Baldoni and deflect criticism away from herself. This is not merely a lawsuit at this point, it is Hollywood warfare. Blake Lively and her team allegedly attempted to control the media narrative in an attempt to protect her brand and reputation after failing to discredit Wayfair Studios and Justin Baldoni. But the truth is quickly emerging, and the evidence is growing against her. Despite not being the ones who made the mistakes, the statement was written to give the impression that Wayfair Studios and Baldoni were taking responsibility. We both understood why we have always acknowledged our imperfections and agreed that the actors would independently market the film. Lively and Reynolds allegedly wanted Baldoni's team to release exactly this. Even if our errors are inadvertent, we will always be held accountable. It is our duty to be accountable to ourselves. That's part of being man enough. We'll heed our own counsel. We appreciate everyone's patience as we navigate a better way forward, and we're growing and learning from the experience. We are really proud of the film and the wonderful reception it has received. In order to encourage meaningful dialogue, we are committed to doing the same off-screen as the movie does on-screen. We appreciate the chance to grow and learn with dedication and empathy which has been provided by the audience, crew, and actors in order to clean up Lively's PR mess. Why were Wayfarer and Baldoni supposed to take the blame for everything? Because of Blake Lively's public decline. She conducted tone-deaf interviews on Instagram and completely destroyed the film's marketing campaign. She tried to hold Baldoni and his group accountable, but here's the twist. Because Wayfarer Studios and Baldoni refused to back down and didn't release the statement, Lively's PR disaster only got worse. This question mark is the pinnacle of entitlement. Trying to scare someone else into taking accountability for your own bad decisions, it's nearly unbelievable how everything comes full circle at this point. In October, Lively seems to have already begun working with the New York Times to prepare an eye-catching story about Baldoni. The metadata of legal documents is accurate. The plan was simple: make Baldoni the villain, sway public opinion, and make sure he was held responsible. When that didn't work, Lively and Reynolds sued Baldoni and Wayfair for not selling the movie rights or granting their requests. But as more receipts and evidence surface that tells the real story, her case is quickly coming apart. For Blake and Ryan, what does this mean? In grave danger. In Hollywood, scandals like this one involving such extensive deceit, manipulation, and career sabotage are not forgotten. It's not easy to recover from that. Is this the end for Hollywood's golden couple? What do you think? Will Blake Lively's career end soon? Tell me in the space provided below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next update.